June 12, 1994. At a luxury estate in Brentwood, Los Angeles, two bodies were discovered in pools of blood. Nicole Brown Simpson, 35 years old, and Ronald Goldman, 25, mice, brutally murdered. And the prime suspect was one of the most beloved figures in America, Oriental James Simpson. O.J. Simpson, legendary football star, Hollywood actor, beloved pitchman. He had it all: fame, fortune, and the admiration of an entire nation. But behind that perfect facade lay a dark story of domestic violence, control, and ultimately death. This is the story of what became known as the trial of the century, a case that divided America along racial lines, changed the justice system forever, and raised the question: is justice truly blind, or does it favor those with money and power? To understand this case, we must turn back the clock. In 1947, O.J. Simpson was born in San Francisco to a struggling family. He grew up in the projects, but football changed his destiny. At the University of Southern California, O.J. became a phenomenon. In 1968, he won the Heisman Trophy, the most prestigious award in college football. Then he joined the NFL with the Buffalo Bills and quickly became one of the greatest running backs of all time. But O.J. didn't stop at the gridiron. He conquered Hollywood with roles in The Naked Gun, appeared in hundreds of commercials. People loved him. He was a symbol of transcending racial barriers in a divided America. And then he met Nicole Brown. Nicole Brown, a beautiful young woman, met O.J. in 1977 when she was just 18. Ganne ni watorse. Nani yusito Ryan Day. O.J. was 30, famous, and already married. But that didn't stop them. Mom, yisadi, yisime, ababaya, turu, yipsho, shao. In 1985, after divorcing his first wife, O.J. married Nicole. From the outside, they looked like the perfect couple. 2 children, $1 million home, a life of luxury. But behind closed doors, it was hell. In 1989, police were called to the Simpson home. Nicole ran outside, face bruised and swollen, clothes torn. She screamed, "He's going to kill me! He's going to kill me!" O.J. was arrested for assault, but only received 120 hours of community service and counseling. Essentially, no consequences. Over the following years, Nicole called 911 8 times. In those calls, her voice trembled with fear. "He's breaking everything. He's screaming in my face. My kids are watching all of this." But O.J. was a celebrity. Police often did nothing. Neighbors knew but didn't dare speak up. And Nicole, she felt trapped. Finally, in 1992, she found the courage to leave him. But O.J. wouldn't accept it. He stalked her, showed up wherever she went, called constantly, threatened her. Nicole told friends, "He's going to kill me and get away with it because he's O.J. Simpson." June 12, 1994. A quiet Sunday evening in Brentwood. Nicole took the kids to watch their daughter's dance recital. O.J. was there, but wasn't invited to sit with the family. He felt rejected, excluded. After the recital, Nicole and the children had dinner at Mezzaluna restaurant. Nicole's mother left her glasses at the restaurant. An employee named Ronald Goldman, 25 years old, a friend of Nicole's, volunteered to drop them off at her house. 10:15 p.m. Neighbors heard a dog barking frantically. 10:30 p.m. A passerby discovered Nicole's Akita wandering, paws covered in blood, and then they saw it at the entrance to Nicole's home. 2 bodies lying in pools of blood. Nicole had been stabbed multiple times, her throat slashed nearly to the point of decapitation. Ronald Goldman had fought back, stabbed more than 20 times, his hands still clenched. The scene was horrific. Blood everywhere, signs of a desperate struggle for survival, and no suspect in sight. When police arrived at the scene, they immediately noticed crucial details. Size 12 shoe prints, very rare. Bruno Magli, brand. Blood at the scene, black gloves, and most importantly, a trail of blood leading from the 2 bodies toward the gate. Detective Mark Fuhrman was assigned to the case. He knew Nicole was divorced. He knew about the history of domestic violence, and he knew who suspect number 1 was: O.J. Simpson. 4 a.m. Police arrived at O.J.'s Rockingham Avenue estate, but no one answered. Detective Fuhrman jumped over the fence and discovered a blood-soaked glove, identical to the one at the crime scene. On the walkway, drops of blood. In O.J.'s white Bronco, blood on the car door, on the gear shift. Inside the house, blood on the floor, on the walls, in the bathroom, blood-soaked socks. But O.J. wasn't home. He had flown to Chicago on the night of the murders. Police called him, told him Nicole was dead. O.J.'s reaction? He didn't ask what happened or who did this. He only asked, "Who did this?" As if he already knew she'd been murdered. June 17th, 1994. Dying, O.J. Simpson was ordered to surrender. But he didn't show up. Instead, police received a call. O.J. was with his best friend, Al Cowlings, driving a white Ford Bronco, and they were running. What happened next became one of the most watched moments in American television history. 95 million people, nearly half the U.S. population, glued to their screens. The chase unfolded at a speed of 35 miles per hour, strangely slow. 20 police cars in pursuit, helicopters overhead, thousands of Los Angeles residents standing on the roadside, some holding "Go O.J." signs. They were cheering for him, as if this were a game. In the car, O.J. held a gun to his head, threatening suicide. Al Cowlings called police. "He's got a gun to his head. Don't shoot. Back off." The chase lasted over 2 hours. Finally, the Bronco returned to O.J.'s estate. He sat in the car for another 45 minutes, negotiating with police. He wanted to talk to his mother. He wanted a glass of orange juice. Finally, he got out of the car and surrendered. In his bag, police found $8,000 in cash, a passport, a fake beard, a gun. This was not the behavior of an innocent man. In Pidal Manas, House, in the Dehat, and the Deputy. ad dasio, peti, adesoa, idel fei, chait. January 24th, 1995. Pan, nine, das von CIA. The trial officially began at Los Angeles Superior Court. Judge Lance Ito presiding. This wasn't just a trial. It was a media spectacle. CNN broadcast the entire trial live. 91% of Americans tuned in. The lawyers became celebrities. OJ's defense team was called the Dream Team. They included Johnny Cochran, Robert Shapiro, F. Lee Bailey, Robert Kardashian, the biggest names in law. Prosecutor Marcia Clark's strategy was simple. DNA evidence, history of domestic violence, motive, and OJ had no solid alibi. But the Dream Team had a different plan. They didn't need to prove OJ was innocent. They only needed to create reasonable doubt. And they knew exactly how to do it. They focused on the police, especially Detective Mark Fuhrman. The Dream Team revealed that Fuhrman had used racist language. He had said the N-word dozens of times in recorded interviews. They argued Fuhrman had planted evidence because he hated black people. And this is where the case became complicated, because it was no longer just about the crime. It became a battle about race, about police corruption, about a system that had wronged the black community too many times. June 15th, 1995. One of the most famous moments in American courtroom history. The prosecution asked OJ to try on the blood-soaked gloves found at the crime scene. OJ stood up. He put on the gloves, and they didn't fit. He struggled, his hands rigid, then turned to the jury with a look of frustration, as if to say, "Not mine." Johnny Cochran, the defense attorney, seized this moment. In his closing argument, he said a line that went down in history. "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." But there's a truth many people don't know. Leather gloves, when soaked in blood and dried, shrink. Add to that, OJ had stopped taking his arthritis medication for several days, causing his hands to swell. And he was wearing latex gloves underneath before putting on the leather ones. These details were never properly explained to the jury, and that moment changed everything. After 252 days of trial, over 150 witnesses, 1,000 pieces of physical evidence, the jury needed only less than 4 hours to reach a verdict. October 3rd, 1995, 10 a.m. 150 million people worldwide. Eyes fixed on screens. The nation held its breath. Schools stopped classes. Companies let employees off to watch. This was the moment America had been waiting for. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder. Not guilty. O.J. Simpson was free. The nation's reaction was completely divided. According to polls, 77% of white Americans believed O.J. was guilty, but 72% of black Americans believed he was innocent. Same trial, same evidence, but two Americas saw two completely different truths. In the courtroom, O.J. smiled. The Goldman and Brown families wept. Nicole and Ron would never get justice. But the story didn't end there. In 1997, the Goldman and Brown families filed a civil lawsuit. In civil court, the rules are different. The jury doesn't need to be unanimous, just a majority. And this time, the jury found O.J. liable for the deaths of Nicole and Ron. He was ordered to pay $33.50 million in damages. But O.J. declared bankruptcy. The victims' families never received the money. O.J. fled to Florida, where laws protect primary residences from seizure despite deaths. He lived a life of golf and parties, while the victims' families lived in anguish every day. In 2007, O.J. was arrested again for armed robbery in Las Vegas. He tried to reclaim his sports memorabilia, using guns to threaten people. This time, there was no dream team, no celebrity status to save him. He was sentenced to 33 years in prison. Voice over, reflective tone. Many said this was delayed justice. Others said he was imprisoned for the wrong crime. But at least he paid a price. The O.J. Simpson case changed America forever. It was the first time a trial was broadcast live in its entirety, opening the era of trial by media. It exposed deep racial divides in American society. The Los Angeles Police Department had a long and terrible history with the black community. Just 3 years before O.J., there was Rodney King, a black man brutally beaten by police, and those officers were acquitted, leading to the largest riots in Los Angeles history. So when the Dream Team put the police on trial, when they talked about Mark Fuhrman and racism, many black people didn't see it as a trick. They saw it as truth about a system that had failed them too many times. But the price of that skepticism was that 2 innocent people never got justice. Nicole Brown Simpson, a woman who cried out to the system many times, but no one listened. Ronald, a young man who was just trying to do something kind, paid with his life. To this day, many questions remain unanswered. If O.J. didn't do it, then who killed Nicole and Ron? Police didn't investigate any other suspects. They were convinced it was O.J. from Hour 1. There's a book, published in 2006, with a shocking title, If I Did It, allegedly written by O.J. In it, he hypothetically describes, if he were the killer, how everything would have happened. The details in the book are chillingly specific. O.J. describes holding a knife, going to Nicole's house, seeing Ron Goldman. This is now assisted her. TV. Becoming enraged, stabbing repeatedly. In this hypothetical, he wrote, looking down, I saw myself covered in blood. Nicole was on the ground. I don't remember anything else. The book faced massive backlash and was eventually purchased by the Goldman family. They retitled it, If I Did It, Confessions of the Killer, and added in bold letters on the cover, he did it. O.J. Simpson deed. On April 10th, 2024. It means, might you say, he never confessed, never showed remorse, and the truth, the whole truth, may have died with him. But Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, their stories live on. A reminder that behind every headline, every celebrity trial, are real people, real lives, and real families, still searching for justice.